from the Wine Tasting Company. We provide specialist wine entertainment and wine education both to corporate and private clients across the UK. Basically, we do everything related to wine apart from sell it. So if you want to go on a course, learn a little bit more, you want to entertain your clients, perhaps you want to go on a vineyard visit, or just generally know a little bit more about wine, well, we're the place to be. If you want to know more about us, go to www.thewinetastingcompany.com. Started about 6 years ago, just myself, and the idea was to provide wine tasting events essentially to corporate clients. We came at it from a very different angle, started to realise that wine education was actually about entertainment. It's not about standing there talking rubbish for 2 hours and technical stuff. People want to have a good time. So initially started building the business through cold calling. So just sat at home with a telephone, started phoning corporate clients, and very quickly picked up quite a few very credible clients. And then over the last couple of years, as the corporate hospitality markets declined, started putting in wine courses. So we do sort of day courses, we do evening courses, and that's basically for the general public who want to come along, have a little bit of fun and learn a bit more about wine at whatever level that may be. Repeat business and customer referrals is hugely important to us because there are a lot of people operating in our space, particularly in the London area within the M25. So we have to build up a reputation where, take for example one of our clients, one of the big accountancy firms, the first few events I did for them, we then get a lot of repeat business from their other offices because people recommend it. And because it's wine tasting, it's the sort of thing that people will invariably just Google to find somebody. And obviously that's quite a random thing, and you're constantly therefore looking for new business. So to keep ourselves in front of our existing customers and leverage the contacts that we've got within those existing customers is very important. In terms of keeping in front of our existing customers and keeping the awareness there, there's two ways to do it. One is essentially telephone calling. So I won't say cold calling, but just reinforcing the relationships perhaps on a sort of 6 monthly basis. But more and more so now, email marketing, that's becoming increasingly important because it gives us a really easy vehicle to keep our name in front of our clients. And because what we do, they don't buy every single day, they maybe buy once a year or once every 2 years, it's important to keep that presence. So at the point that they're thinking of doing an event, they think, oh, hang on, we had an email from the Wine Tasting Company last week, let's get it back to them. And it actually works very effectively for us. The messages that we normally send through email have traditionally probably been the wrong messages because I've always used it to this point as a sales vehicle. But there's only so many sales messages you can push out there on a regular basis without people getting fed up of it being just a sales email. So we're now moving forward and changing that to becoming an information-led email. So we're giving people something that they can take away, whether it be a wine of the week, recommendations, that sort of thing. And then on the back of that, obviously very subtly promoting the wine tasting side of the business as well. Sending emails we used to do once a month. I'm now ramping that up to doing it once every 2 weeks. It's quite interesting to find that by increasing the frequency of emails, the actual unsubscribe rate hasn't increased. So hopefully we've got it right now in terms of what we're sending out there to people and they actually want the information. In terms of putting the emails together, it's something that does take a little bit of time because of the way iContact works and the fact you can schedule your emails. It's quite a nice thing to be able to do that in, if you like, non-sales time, downtime, so you can do it in the evening. Once you've got the format and the template right, then it's just a case of dropping the information in. And within our industry, there's an awful lot of information we can drop in there and stuff that we've used in the past. So it's a very simple process to do that, and possibly even queue up 3 or 4 emails in one go. So you've possibly got a month or 2 months worth of emails ready to go. The challenge of growing that list no longer is a problem. To give you an example, we did an event at a cinema. It was basically a drink along to a film some time ago. And at the end of the evening, I said to the whole audience, basically we do quite a few of these events throughout the year. If anybody's interested, please leave us your details on the way out. Well, they were actually queuing at the door on the way out to leave their email addresses with us. So I think the world has changed in that respect. Integrating social media now has become a bit of a challenge for us, because where traditionally we would have used just email marketing, now obviously you've got the various different channels of social media. The ones we particularly use are Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter. But what we don't want to do is essentially be bombarding the same customers. So we don't want to be getting an email and then something on Twitter and then something on LinkedIn. So it's a bit of a balancing act. We recognise that social media is becoming hugely important. And one of the things that I think is good with iContact is now I can schedule my social media to go out through iContact. And again, it's that thing of sort of time management with it. I could perhaps do it all at 11 o'clock in the evening and leave it to run for the next day, so you don't have to think about it. And interesting, I think, as well, we have a different type of person engaging with us through social media than we do with email marketing. Email marketing tends to have a higher hit rate with our corporate client base. They're the people who tend to respond to that more so. Whereas with social media, it's probably the general public, certainly on our responding to our courses, where we get most success with social media. I came across iContact while I was looking online for a very usable email marketing system. I was using a different system prior to coming on board with iContact, and it wasn't the greatest or the easiest thing to use. I needed something that was simple for me to build the emails, to track it, and I looked at iContact and it looked like the most usable system. The other issue I had was that if I was using a system that was essentially based in the US, then I had no support until the US office opened first thing in the morning. Where iContact's come to the fore for me is that you now have a UK-based phone number, which means if I'm building an email at 9:30 in the morning, I can actually speak to somebody at 9:30 in the morning and get the support that I need. The crash course event that I went to with iContact was really interesting, because it's obviously you sit in your office and you use the system yourself, and obviously there's some support there. But I think it was very interesting to find out some other ideas, both from the iContact staff, who made me aware of facilities and features that I didn't realise were there, but also listen to other people's experiences and how other people are using it, because obviously everybody has a different take on it and nobody has a monopoly on good ideas. So it was great for those people to sit around a table and say, well, actually, do you know, I do this with it.